Good morning everybody. So today let's see how early morning exercise is going to be beneficial to reduce weight rather than a walk in the evening. Okay. So generally in our body we have two states. What are the two states? One is well-fed state, another is a fasting state. So what happens in well-fed state? You are eating food and energy is given by means of glucose. This glucose level is maintained by the hormone insulin, glycolysis. Okay. So what happens in fasting? Fasting for a period of 4 to 6 hours. That is, for example, if you take the time period between breakfast and lunch. Okay. You have fasting. And what happens during fasting? Your blood sugar is maintained by glycogenolysis pathway. What hormone comes into play? Glucagon. So glycogen is broken down. Glycogenolysis. Okay. So we have two glycogens. One is liver glycogen and muscle. So only the glycogen in the liver can give rise to glucose because of the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. Muscle glycogen cannot give rise to glucose. Okay, now let's move on to the condition which is known as starvation. What is starvation? Starvation is nothing but prolonged fasting. In prolonged fasting, for example, the time duration between your dinner and breakfast in the next day. Okay, approximately you have 8 to 12 hours. So initially during the fasting time, all the glycogen must be depleted. Okay, to maintain the blood sugar level by means of glycogenolysis. Now during this starvation time, what happens is, or more than 12 hours, what happens is the glucose is synthesized from non-carbohydrate sources. Non-carbohydrate sources like lactate, propionyl CoA, glycerol and amino acids. Okay, so the synthesis of glucose from these non-carbohydrate sources is known as gluconeogenesis. Gluco means glucose, neo means new, genesis means synthesized. So new glucose is synthesized from non-carbohydrate sources. Where does this pathway take place? It takes place in liver. Okay. And one important thing is that this pathway requires more ATPs. Around 6 ATPs for this pathway to take place. So what are the steps requiring ATPs? One is pyruvate to oxaloacetate, oxaloacetate to phosphoenol pyruvate, 3-phosphoglycerate to 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate. So these are the energy required reactions. Okay, so each reaction 2 ATP, so total 6 ATPs. This is a tedious job. So what happens when you exercise in your empty stomach? When you exercise in empty stomach, the exercise per se is going to require more of energy. Plus, to maintain your blood sugar level, gluconeogenesis pathway has to take place, which requires again more amount of energy. So these two is going to contribute to your weight loss, significant weight loss when you continue for 2 weeks or 1 month. Okay. So what is the lesson learned today? Exercise early in the morning in empty stomach, EE. So what is the MCQ? What are the MCQs learned today? the substrate for gluconeogenesis, that is lactate, glycerol, and propionyl CoA and amino acids. Where does gluconeogenesis pathway take place? In the liver. Next, only liver glycogen can be converted to glucose, not the muscle glycogen, because of the absence of the enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. Okay. Next, the energetics of gluconeogenesis, that is how many ATPs, 6 ATPs, and what are the steps. Okay. And the answer for this question: why early morning exercise is more effective in reducing weight than exercising or brisk walk in the evening. Clear? Thank you.